an English perspective on today's feast. Today's feast is a big deal back in England, where I'm from. I'm Father Michael Donovan. I'm a priest at Josephinum Seminary, and I've been asked to come here and preach to you tonight. So today's feast, Our Lady of Mercy. When we think of mercy in all its forms, we think of our need to rescue in all its forms, our need for physical rescue, spiritual rescue, captivity in all its forms, as well, of course, of the physical form of captivity the Mercedarians had with offering themselves and ransoms. So we think of mercy in all its forms, our captivity in all its forms, and ransom in all its forms. Now, in England, you may or may not know much about the Catholic Church in England, but England has suffered the Reformation, one of the most brutal persecutions in the history of the Church. And so we looked to Our Lady for a type of rescue from that. In the time of the Reformation, we looked to her for rescue from the captivity of the fact that it was illegal to be a Catholic. That for centuries we faced physical martyrdom, persecution, and after that passed, we started financial persecution, then just lacking religious liberty. Even now in England, Catholics are not equal under the law. That the king, you can have a Muslim king, you can have a Jewish king, but you can't have a Catholic. But we're still not equal under the law. And the captivity we, down the centuries, turned to Our Lady, seeking rescue from, is religious captivity. The captivity of being in a nation that once was so Catholic has become so Protestant. And what did we seek in the midst of that? Did we seek the destruction of those who persecuted us? We prayed for their return. We prayed for the conversion of our nation. That our nation that once had been Catholic would once again be a release from the spiritual captivity that bound our nation. And we look to Our Lady, particularly Our Lady of Ransom for us. So in England there was a guild, the Guild of Our Lady of Ransom, that was founded in 1877, particularly dedicating to her and that patronage. And that's not as ancient as the Mercedarians in 1218, a long time ago. And we took as our inspiration the prayer of one of our martyrs, as it was being martyred, to pray for the nation, for its conversion. Jesus converting, have mercy on our country. When I was raised in England, and I was raised with this feast day, the 24th of September, being a big deal in our town. I was raised as a child to pray for, again, to pray for the conversion of England. And to see those signs of hope that again and again we saw signs of conversion, saw signs of it beginning to happen. The era of Newman, all the Oxford movement problems, the great waves of Irish immigrants swelling the church. More recently, the waves of conversions that were part of the ordinariates, and huge numbers of immigrants, African immigrants now from Canada, Nigeria, the Philippines, and more. Many signs of hope that we have looked to for Our Lady and credited her for. The English Catholics have always had a very particular devotion to Our Lady. But the title to refer to her as Our Lady is a chivalrous way of addressing her. The English took from our medieval chivalry. And I was taught in grade school that her name is very precious. To not overuse the name of Mary. To call her Our Lady, to refer to her as Our Lady. In the medieval church in England, the devotion to Our Lady was so strong, we even inserted her into the glory. And even now, in England, at the Mass, we have a Hail Mary within the structure of the Mass, was including the intercession of the Mass, turning to Our Lady. Medieval England is very and very narrow. Today's feast is also called Our Lady of Walsingham. At the shrine of Walsingham in England, which has a replica of the Holy House of Nazareth there, that this was one of the greatest pilgrimage destinations in Europe. And England was known as her dower. King Richard II spiritually gave England over to Our Lady as her gift, as her dower. Pope Leo XIII reiterated this dedication, this title, that England is Our Lady's dower, that belongs to her in a special way. And I was reading just this morning the English text of today's feast day, that has John Paul II yet again referring to England as being her dower. So this long history of England being Catholic, the Reformation, it took a very vicious persecution to stop that happening. And it had been a remnant who hoped for a release in their spiritual life. And to whom did they look? They looked to her. So one of our cardinals wrote the prayer for the conversion of England that was said after benediction, every time there was benediction. O Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God and all most gentle Queen, look down in mercy upon England, our God. We hope still that our nation will return to her. This feast day is a very precious one now. And just a couple of years ago, in the midst of all the COVID lockdowns, our English bishops rededicated our nation to Our Lady. To her, why is she the one we should look to when we are in captivity? Why is she the one we should look to when we are in some form of slavery? Because she is the one who understands the weak and the powerless. She is the one who understands those in captivity more than others. We pray in Magnificat, as we did just earlier in Mass. She was lowly and needy, and she looked good. She was lifted up, she became powerful, and she remembers us growing up. She understands the captive. Whatever our personal form of captivity, she's the one we can look to for us. And the mercy she gives us is not just her mercy, but his. There's a great hymn of St. Alphonsus the Glory puts it. His power, thy will hath wrought. That it's her will at work, that whatever she asks him, he gives her. That while she lived on earth, she denies him nothing. While she lived on earth, she lived his will at every moment. And now in heaven, he denies her nothing. What she asks for, she attains. And so we look to her, we ask her, that she might, on our behalf, obtain from him his power, his mercy. Most powerful mother, all men know, thy Son denies thee not. Thou askest, wishes, is enload, his power, thy will. She is constant. She was sinless all this life. She was constant to us. Constant to the Lord, which she is therefore constant with us. We who are inconstant, we who vacillate, who sometimes are good and sometimes not. She's constant. She's reliable. Never goes enough. And you return to that. Now finally, Our Lady of Mercy, Our Lady of Ransom, today's feast. Why ransom? Why does talk of ransom? Well, we might think it's very much related to the question of merit, the theology of merit. I mean, all merit is grounded on the merit of Christ on the cross. But we know too as Catholics that we can gain real merit by our cooperating with Him, our looking to Him, our offering our good with Him, through Him, in Him, that we do truly merit. We merit our union with the cross. The gospel text we had in Mass just now had Our Lady at the foot of the cross. It was there that she was united to Him on the cross. It was there that she gained that merit. Even now she can call upon the cross. And Our Lady of Ransom can, by that merit, in a sense, pay for us, buy back for us, by her prayers, whatever it is we need to know. So to conclude, sum up. Our Lady of Mercy, Our Lady of Ransom, we think there are many forms of rescue that we need, many forms of ransom. The spiritual form of all ransom is prayer. And Our Lady, she has the biggest role. She's us, our mother,